Hey, it's Greg Grunberg, Snap Wexley, and you are listening to Sixth Scale Scavengers.
Welcome back, Scavengers. Chris, it's been a while.
It has been. Just a few things have popped up, since last time.
In the old days, in our heyday, Chris, we probably would have had an emergency podcast to talk about this, but life finds a way. We're not as eager beavers as much as we once were. We're the grizzled old veterans with Gray. And so programming notes. We're not sure if we're going to have TC or not tonight. I think he was planning to be back in time, but we haven't heard from him. So I think I know he had some a family gathering tonight. So very valid reason for him not to be here. But we're just gonna have to start it at some point here, Chris. But Spider-Man, brand new day, dropped today. No spoilers. It will be the Fontaine Clan. We're going Saturday afternoon.
Nice.
See it. So, how about the Lettys?
Yeah, we're going first thing Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. show. I don't think I've ever gone to a show that early.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know either, but man, everything from like 11 a.m. onwards was sold out. So my oldest daughter is going to be at a sleepover, and we got her blessing to, go see it without her. And the wife and I said, let's go to that 8:30 show and go out to breakfast afterwards with our youngest. So I'm seriously looking forward to this movie. I just saw some, Rotten Tomatoes ratings and the projected box office numbers worldwide, and things are looking good. So anticipation is getting ramped up here.
Since 2018, when we started this whole thing, which I'm pretty sure was that Infinity War year? Yeah.
Yep.
It was, because Endgame was 2019. How many times since then? And of course, we're cheating a little bit because we're up there for a good chunk of this. And we either said Marvel's back or Marvel's in trouble. Specifically me. I'm pointing at me. I'm the problem. It's me. I don't know. I'm going into this kind of cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Scott of the Parker Files gave it 2 thumbs up this afternoon. Then we tried to see if he could unretire his YouTube channel. That would be great.
Right.
But huge Spider-Man fan, and the aptly named Parker Files sounds. You can't really go wrong with Spider-Man.
No, I think everybody has their own. The Spider-Man that they love, and the storyline that they prefer. But for me, the Tom Holland Spider-Man is hit, and I'm always eager to see what happens next with that character and all his friends and foes. And this one is shaping up to be the biggest Spider-Man movie yet, in story and scale. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I see where you're coming from. Marvel's been in a somewhat rough spot ever since Endgame. There's been more misses than hits, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people feel that way too. But yeah, we'll see how this shapes up and how it plays into, upcoming stories, shows, and especially Doomsday, Secret Wars, and other projects that have been announced from San Diego Comic-Con. So yeah, some good stuff.
Good stuff indeed. All right, so before we get into talking about all the Avengers Doomsday figures that were previewed and some we got a sneak look at, a quick shout out to the scavengers in the chat. We've got moderator Mike checking in, who also, Chris, is going to see at 9:30 on Saturday. Apparently it's like a thing. We're going at like 2:15 in the afternoon. Maybe we do it a little backwards where I'm from.
Yeah. No, that's more a realistic time. But yeah, I think trying to get in opening weekend, if you start looking at 3 to 4 people, sitting together, it's getting to be pretty slim pickings there for showings this weekend.
So I will say, Chris, you give me grief for this all the time. I hate surprises. I tend to just look for spoilers ahead of time. I've been good. However, our friend Scott from Scotland happened to see the movie yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I messaged him on the side. I said, I just have one question. Don't tell me anything else. I'm like, I just need to know. He answered my question. He goes, Bryan, I'm not going to tell you anything else. I was like, nope, fair. So the one thing I was curious about going in, he answered for me. I feel good. I don't think it really spoils anything about the movie. So that's how the cookie crumbles. All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Avengers Doomsday figures. This might as well be X-Men.
Yeah.
And Dr. Doom.
You're right.
Because we've got a little thing on screen here that shows some of the figures that we've got all the official photos from Avengers Doomsday, mostly X-Men. Mm-hmm. We do have a shot here, Chris, at Professor X and Beast. The Beast figure is gotten... I wouldn't say that people aren't necessarily the biggest fan of it.
Yeah.
So we don't have to get into that quite yet. The Professor X looks okay, but what kind of timing is this? Because I don't know if anybody else scavenger wise is also following along with X-Men 97, the animated series in season 2, and this is just very timely because a lot of people have got X-Men on the brain, and it was maybe it was smart, Chris, to start with the MCU versions of all these characters here. Even though, before I throw it over to you, I think I heard today somebody said that there's 60 characters slated to be in Avengers Doomsday across the Fantastic Four, our Earth 616 Avengers, and everybody, the X-Men universe, the Fox X-Men universe, I guess. But technically, this one is maybe not the same as all the original ones, because even the Wolverine that we got in Wolverine and Deadpool was a variant that wasn't from the Fox universe.
It's a lot.
I don't know.
It's a lot. Yeah, there's definitely a method to their madness. I suppose with Hot Toys, it's, your guess is as good as mine, but with your point about, X-Men 97 going on right now, I'm watching that. It's, this lead up to Doomsday has gotten me back into the original X-Men movies. So I was actually, just before we get on, I was watching X-Men Last Stand.
I'm sorry.
I know. Well, it's been so long since I've watched that movie, and I'm like, I don't even remember what happens. And I'm watching, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is why I haven't watched this in a long time.
I have really I don't know if it's necessarily been a mistake, but like my son can't make sense of the Fox X-Men timeline. And I've tried to explain it a couple different times. And it's still, he's like, why did they do that, Dad? Like, wouldn't you think that these people making these movies understand all this thing? I'm like, nope, they don't. They didn't care. They didn't. Continuity wasn't a thing.
It's
funny because we've just recently finished off the Tobey Maguire trilogy. He agreed with me. Spider-Man 3 is atrocious.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. I think now going back to it, and I think people are comparing the brand new day to Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 is like easily one of my favorite comic book movies. And I think rewatching it, I think somebody was cutting some onions several times with some of the quotes. Sure they were. But so for X-Men though, he didn't really want to watch the original X-Men, X2, X3.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the Wolverine movies, except we still haven't watched Logan. And then we watched First Class, Days of Future Past. And then the other night we just watched X-Men Apocalypse, which is also bad. But it just reminded me, like, how many times are we going to tell the origin story of the X-Men? And what are we getting ready to do potentially after Secret Wars?
I know. They're coming back. Somehow the X-Men returned.
Somehow the X-Men returned with the origin story. I will preface everything that I'm going to talk about with Doomsday. I'm going to try to be very careful. I'll be mostly positive, I think. I would say, Chris, while we're looking at these on screen and we're going to go through... Oh, one other note, because I have ADHD and I'm just all over the place tonight. Anytime TC's not here to keep us honest, it just goes off the rails. I'm thinking, Chris, we're going to see a lot of Sentinels in this movie. How many of these characters have a Sentinel hand base? It looks like we're going to get a like 1/12 scale Sentinel. I don't know. Like, it's a miniature one. This is going to be a deep cut for those of you that are our age. If you have ever been to an arcade and you played the X-Men, the arcade game, those Sentinels were probably about this size.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think of that Galactus that they put out.
Good call. Yep.
Yeah, it's very Sentinel heavy. The speculation is that draw the lines. Like, wouldn't it be funny if there weren't any Sentinels in the movie? Yeah, they all got cut.
Hot Toys is Will Ferrell. Like, I immediately regret this decision.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I mean, it could be what the speculation is going on right now is that this is the beginning of the movie. At least the X-Men are involved with the first part of the movie. And, these figures lean heavily into that idea that, who knows what the future is for these characters going forward. But, Hot Toys thought heavily into investing in making these characters in 6 scale. So...
And that's exactly the point I was going to make, Chris, is this a nostalgia play for your collection to get a 6 scale representation of, say, the X-Men animated series, X-Men 97, in their comic book accurate, outfits, costumes here, but maybe, and strongly considering that they're probably not going to be the Cyclops, Gambit, and Beast of the future. we'll probably get a different version of them. So I don't know. I'm torn. I like, and this is just gnawing at me because like I've been telling my son as we've been watching X-Men 97, I'm like, the X-Men in the 90s was like my jam. I mean, we were talking with Sean in the Scavenger Council chat, and I think he said his son's name's Logan. Like, same thing. Like, people that are younger don't know and appreciate how big the X-Men were in the 90s. Like, they dwarfed over any other Marvel character aside from Spider-Man. Like, Fantastic Four, they were like C-class. The Avengers, like, nowhere near the popularity of the X-Men.
Yeah, definitely in the 90s for sure. Yeah, and I mean it's it's cool that we're getting this stuff. I mean, we've gotten X-Men, a lot of Wolverine figures in the past, but getting some of the core members of the X-Men in 6 scale. I mean, I think a lot of fans are going to be happy about this. It's really what do you want to do? I mean, we're 4 months out from the movie, almost 4.5 months. And, they're releasing this many figures. I'm trying to think of like how many.
I'm thinking back to like Infinity War Endgame when we got all like the stuff ahead of time. I will say though, Chris, again, going back to, we've been around doing this since 2018. The days of pre-ordering figures for a movie that you haven't seen yet, I don't think I can do it.
I know it's a leap of faith. That's for sure.
Well, Infinity, again, newer collectors probably don't realize like how bad it was for Infinity War. They made so many of those figures, and they sat, and they weren't even good figures.
I know. And looking back, a lot of those figures don't hold up.
They don't. Like, the sculpts are very soft. Like, ugh.
Yeah, it's mostly like the either masked characters or whatever that might hold up. But I mean, as far as the X-Men go, I think there's just so many fans, especially of the original movies, and just the characters in general. I think there's enough collectors out there that will jump on these just to lock in their pre-orders. But I think for me, I don't see myself pre-ordering any of these before the movie. The Doom looks awesome. He's just a badass looking character. He's one of the most iconic villains in all of Marvel history. So to finally get him, in live action, in the MCU, we've gotten him in live action in the Fox Fantastic Four. But I want to see how this plays out. I'm still really skeptical of RDJ playing Doom. Just this whole idea that it might be a, if it's a variant or whatever, I think, I just want to see the movie.
That's the thing is so. Knowing that we're going to like reset everything, go back to a single sacred timeline, no more multiverses and stuff. Yeah. Again, and I say the same thing, and you've probably heard me say this before too. It's like, why should I care? Like, even the most recent Daredevil, we just saw Wonder Man just got canceled today. Unfortunately, I didn't even watch that. I didn't watch Secret Invasion. There's all this stuff, and they're still pumping it out close to what's going on. Like, why am I going to care? Why is it going to matter after the events of like Secret Wars, knowing that there's like essentially a full reset going on? Like, you don't see that with like
question.
Like, and again, this is going back. I don't even how many episodes we've officially been back yet. But why I landed on collecting Star Wars, at least at this point, there's just one timeline. Like, there's no different versions of Mando and Grogu and stuff. Like,
I mean, there's plenty of versions.
Well, sorry, misspoke. But like different variants of them. I guess I should say.
No, I'm messing with you.
It does lean into the nature of comic books, and as long as some of these characters have been around, like Spider-Man since the 1960s, how many different times have we in print and film seen the origin story, like people's different interpretations of that, which is great, and we've got all these different things. But if you're going to take them and you're going to smash them all together into one universe, like, there's got to be a plot point that allows that to happen. But like, again, is anything that happened before that going to matter or not? Or is it like a clean slate? Like, hey, this is all new. You don't have to know anything about this before you come in. That is what kind of stops me in my tracks at this point.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a lot you're going to have to know going into Doomsday. I'm just hoping that, people that, they are going to be willing to revisit some of these movies and series and stuff, whether it be, I think the Loki series is going to play in to Doomsday in a big way. You've got Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, both movies I thought were really good, really entertaining, great characters. A lot of these things, a lot of my friends that I talk to, they're like, yeah, I haven't watched this, I haven't watched that, I'm not interested, I've lost, the Marvel, the taste for Marvel. I don't know. I feel like a Marvel shill because I watch everything. So, I'm usually the one championing people to give these shows and movies a franchise, but yeah.
Quick alert.
Oh.
Drop the line saying that Big Bet Toy Store has Chewbacca in stock right now. So if anybody's looking for Chewbacca like I was, check it out. And look who the cat dragged in.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Robert.
Making an appearance.
Doesn't have to watch this on the download after.
Right.
Oh, now
wow.
I'm extremely jealous.
Shh. No talkie.
Yeah. Mum's the word.
Yeah, right. And it's funny, like, I literally this morning I just got a notice from Sideshow saying that was it the Last Swing Spider-Man just shipped from and I was like, oh man, it better be good, because that was one that I'm like, I wanted to jump on it. I didn't think we'd get another Spider-Man so quickly. I should have thought that, because that's what Hot Toys does. But
you get a Spider-Man, and you get a Spider-Man, and you get a.
It does come with a head sculpt and everything, unlike the the first release for Brand New Day. But I don't even know if that suit is going to be featured in the film. So.
All right, Chris, let's go one by one. We'll look at the deluxe versions. Yeah. Okay. Robert wants the new Spider-Man, so maybe you're in good company there. All right.
Oh man.
I was going to say in no particular order, but being the host with the most here, I got to decide, and I kind of went from my least excitement to most excitement. So we're going to start with Mr. Magneto, Ian McKellen. Right. Looking very much in his mid-80s, like he is. Hugh Jackman jokes that he'll be playing Wolverine until he's 90. Well, Charles Stewart and Ian McKellen are playing Professor X and Magneto until they're in their 90s.
I know. I literally think Professor X is going to be is retired now. Like this is his last film.
So it's decent. We have, again, no idea how much the Master of Magnetism will play into this movie. Again, in the original X-Men trilogy was the main foil. Obviously is the most famous villain into the X-Men, and goes from being a adversary to part of
ally,
the team to
ally.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So I don't know. And then kind of how Days of Future Past kind of landed at more of an ally, and then with the X-Men 97 obviously eventually ended up being more of an ally. I don't know. I view him not like a super villain, because I mean, and again, it's to the dichotomy of Professor X and Magneto. They have very conflicting views on the world and how mutants should be tolerated and treated, and they both play off each other very well. I actually kind of like the dynamic more in like the X-Men First Class universe. But then we're got with it's James McAvoy and
Michael
Fassbender. This is gonna sound sacrilegious, but I like the characters in the First Class universe more than with the originally cast. So, but this is the Magneto we're getting. It's the one that people know the most. I don't know, like this Hot Toys, Chris, they can do old man sculpts extremely well.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got wool hair in the back. I mean, it definitely is to a T, but like the costume is just,
it's not,
it's bland.
It is pretty bland. Yeah, it looks like an Imperial suit, for Star Wars, where it's just like, pretty. I mean, they've got some layering there. They've got some different textures, but it's so monotone that I don't know. The belt buckle isn't enough to break up the monotony with the coloring, in my opinion.
I just noticed he does have an X-Men belt on.
Yeah. So the sculpt looks cool. You've got the rooted hair coming out of the back. It's an effect. I don't know if I really care for it. But yeah,
He doesn't seem like Chris he's going to be long for this universe.
I don't think so either. I think
So,
the writing
to
is on
me-
the wall.
So I think as we talk through all of these, we're going to say, is this more of a current representation of your nostalgia of like representing from, say, X-Men 2 or X2, X3 United, or whatever that horrible movie was called? I'm going to go in the category of, like, this isn't necessarily a Doomsday. This is if you want a Magneto on your shelf from that original movie, but you're not going to get all of these X-Men characters in the black leather costumes.
Yeah, where they're getting the yellow and blue spandex, what we all asked for.
Last Stands, that's the one I was...
Yeah, the Last Stand. Yeah, I mean, for a legacy, it's almost like a legacy figure. For, like I was saying, like for fans of the original movies, I think it can be a good representation if you're a fan of villains like Savon in our group. You know, he's got another option there. Um, but yeah, the bases are cool. Like Robert wants them all. Definitely a lot of elements going on there. But yeah,
Out of all the ones we're going to talk about tonight, Chris, this is clearly last in my.
mm-hmm.
I'm having a difficult time getting excited about this one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm excited. I'm glad that he's in the movie, and I'm glad that he's getting a chance to play him again if this is his last time. But it's not calling to me to have in my collection.
We've got Remy LeBeau, the Raging Cajun here. Channing Tatum.
Yep.
Needs a dialect coach.
Yeah, I don't even want to try to attempt to.
I don't know. It's
quote
this
some
is,
of his. Yeah.
This is weird for me. Like and Gambit was huge in the 90s. Like the animated series definitely brought him more to the forefront. You know, he wasn't ever really like a key member of the team. You know, I think I think back, Chris, to like the Jim Lee run
Mm-hmm.
with Chris Claremont, X-Men #1. I still have it behind me here somewhere. That was just such an awesome comic, and I just think to like these designs that we're seeing here were from that essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But the animated series made him cool.
Yeah.
And you know that loner had really cool powers. I think the X-Men 97 season 1, I think upped his power level quite a bit. And I don't know, like I wasn't ever I was more of a Wolverine Cyclops guy. So Gambit wasn't my guy. But this one's a lot cooler than the Magneto.
It definitely is. Remy LeBeau or, you know, Gambit. He's a cool character visually, you know, his power set, his outfit, you know, he's just, you know, he's got that suave Southern, Louisiana, vibe going. And, you know, 6 scale figure of Channing Tatum. Like I'm sure there's fans out there that you know, buy it just for that. But you know, this isn't, from what I understand, this isn't the version. I don't know if this is the exact version that was in Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, he's got longer hair. I think the suit looks a little bit more refined, but maybe that's just revisionist, you know, memory there. But cool looking figure. It's got some sweet, you know, effects and everything. The base is really cool. I don't know. This figure's definitely got some cool elements to it. I'd like to see what happens in the movie. I don't really think this is one I would buy, but I can see an X-Men fan really wanting something like this.
Yeah, again, do we know that, you know, Gambit's part of the team going forward? Like, how does that get reintroduced? Like, how are they going to do a team?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, those are all questions that I have that won't be answered until after Secret Wars. And if you looked at the timeline of when we could potentially get an X-Men movie, it was like 2028, 2029.
Yep.
So again, you know, with the Hot Toys release schedule, you're still looking at a year and a half from now to even have this. The more we talk this out loud here, Chris, it's like to have every single figure that they're going to feature in Doomsday is going to be nigh impossible. And if we've learned anything from Infinity War or Guardians of the Galaxy, they're never going to give you the full lineup. So you got to make decisions. Like, am I going to be okay with having a partial lineup, a partial team?
Mm-hmm.
I think regardless of however this movie plays out, like, to me, regardless of whatever role these characters have, like, I think you're really buying these to have the 6-scale X-Men team on your shelf.
Yeah. And to that point, if we don't see some of the other members of X-Men, like, is it really a full team? Because, like, when I think of X-Men, like, I'm thinking, Professor X, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, like I'm thinking, like, some of these characters, I don't know if we'll see them. So are you going to be okay with that? Because I don't know. It seems like there's going to be some concessions.
Hold on, I got to take a screenshot of this to send to my wife. Bryan is right. Get that right there. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. I wish it said Bryan is always right, but I'll take is right.
Hey, man, I don't hear that often myself. So, but there you go. You got it.
So I don't know. Yeah, and again, like, and again, it's like, to the point of, like, for Robert's making the point for me here, but in Guardians, it was like you got the full team, but you had to go over a bunch of different movies and releases. They weren't ever from, like, the same one.
I know, and it took.
Okay,
like,
here's something to think about, Chris, and I'm not saying that I potentially didn't look at this earlier or not. Maybe they don't make, well, two things. We don't know if Wolverine's in this movie or not.
Mm-hmm.
Logan, do they make a figure? Do they re-release it, or do you go back to Deadpool and Wolverine and get a Wolverine figure that is now waitlisted? Does that add some value to that figure, to the Tiger Stripe?
Yeah.
Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine? Are we going to get, or do you go back and you pay maybe a little bit more for market on that figure now, and they get you another one from Doomsday?
Dude, I'm having that dilemma right now because I really want Wolverine, and I missed out on the deluxe. It's waitlisted. There are some retailers that still have it.
Like the standard one?
No, well, I want the deluxe one.
Because it has the head sculpts, right?
Yeah. So I found it at a few, but man, they're getting scooped up pretty quickly, and yeah, I don't know. It's the problem.
But we don't even know, like, and that's the thing too, is like, okay, well, Storm, is it Halle Berry? I think it would have to be.
Yeah.
I don't think she has any interest in coming back to be Storm. I mean, spoiler, technically, like, at one point she dies in Days of Future Past, but then they come back and everything is, that timeline just drives me absolutely crazy.
Messed up. It's so messed up.
And then even like the going back to like the Wolverine to 1973 to then like going into the Weapon X program and William Stryker. God, this just makes my head hurt. But like, okay, Jean Grey. Do you want Famke Janssen, or do you want was it Sophie
Turner? Yeah.
I think you'd go for the original.
Right. But I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of problems with the X-Men stuff. I
Yeah.
mean,
But anyways, like you're never
Yeah.
going to get like the team that you want. So again, while we look at these, like you have to look at it more than, is this Channing Tatum's Gambit that you want, or is this Gambit on your shelf?
yeah, I agree.
I think it's just got to be Gambit on your shelf.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the one figure that has tempted me
Mm-hmm.
to want to potentially make the X-Men my. This just opens up so many cans of worms of me like, I'm only going to collect Star Wars. That makes it easy.
Oh, man. Yeah, seeing Cyclops in the, MCU version of the classic,
The classic Jim Lee costume,
right.
the blue and yellow.
Yeah.
The Donut Lord. That's a Sonic reference for all you nerds out there.
Yeah. Sonic's dad right there. Yeah, I think this figure, execution wise, I think it looks really good. The different elements there, all the pouches and pockets and the leather jacket, the base is nuts.
That, and the funny thing is I think they're making it very clear that he does not wear the jacket in the movie, but they're just saying it's inspired by the comic. I mean, but that's like the look. Ugh.
Yeah. Those are the types of accessories that I feel like Hot Toys needs to lean into more. Those bonus items just to give you a different option. But yeah, I mean, it looks.
I'm so tempted by this figure. And if I'm tempted by this, then I'm tempted by the rest. And I swore, Chris, I was only going to have Star Wars.
I mean, this figure with the blue and yellow Wolverine, and yeah, I mean, you just start Deadpool and you just start adding in the other characters and stuff. I mean, you're going to have a pretty awesome display.
Yeah, and it's not so much like, is the look like completely comic accurate? No, but I mean, it's about as on-screen accurate as you're going to get here. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, they compared it to like the X-Men '97. It's he doesn't have the yellow trunks. The strapping over his chest is more of a straight Y, as opposed to being offset there. But yeah, I'm digging it.
To me, my X-Men. To me, my Hot Toys X-Men. That'd be cool if he said it. I know it's definitely in the comics. I think it was the first episode of season 1 of X-Men '97. He said it. But man, what an entrance on that one! Like,
yeah,
it was funny because like, mostly as a Wolverine guy, he just never really cared so much for Cyclops. But like that scene of like that intro when he's like jumps out of a plane, out of the Blackbird there, and he lands by using his optic blast to land. I'm like, wow, what a bad, you know what?
Yeah, they really ramped up his cool
like
factor.
Power level. Just really cool. I mean, look, don't get this wrong, and I think this is more of like a nostalgia, like excitement here than anything. Is this figure perfect? No. Is the hair like super well done? Probably not. But like you just when and why you collect these things is like, you don't, not to say you overlook those things and you throw it out the window.
Yeah.
But it's more of like the representation of what it means. Like obviously growing up in the 90s with the X-Men, I think I sent you a video earlier today, Chris, of like this video of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collector, and his whole room was filled it. And like somebody's like, why do you collect this stuff? Like, but it's like you collect it to remember the good times.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. Like
it's not to own the latest and coolest stuff all the time.
No, and like try to impress other people and stuff like that. It's really it's to bring, that spark of nostalgia back, or, just the love of, these characters and these franchises, and like having a representation of, a team or a character or whatever. I think, for a collector, it means something. So, I mean, that's kind of why we do this. I kind of, like, I'm like you, I'm not, does everything have to be perfect on a figure? Not to me. Like, I don't need it to be like, when you look at the figure in a vacuum, like a lot of these figures, they look great. But then when you start comparing them to, screenshots from the movie and stuff like that, well, this button is, supposed to be here as opposed to here and blah, blah, blah. Like I never think about that stuff.
Printed pants.
What's that? Yeah.
Printed pants.
I know, actually, I got Zach and Dean are represented, and Kevin. So, but like I was setting up my Chewbacca today, and is it perfect? Is it like screen accurate? Whatever. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know, man. Bats. I can't agree with you, but it is what it is. Everybody's got their own opinion on that stuff. But for me, like, if it looks great on my shelf, and I'm happy with it, then that's good enough for me. But some people think that the Chewbacca is trash. I think it looks amazing. So, it is what it is there. But I think for me, a lot of it's just a representation, for my fandom of these characters and these franchises. And,
last but not least, Chris, we've got Doctor Doom. Not typically usually part of the X-Men universe.
Right. He's the main baddie in Fantastic Four. He's one of the originals.
I have to fully admit, Chris, like number one, I'm not a big Fantastic Four person. Mm-hmm. I never read the comic books. In the 90s, the Fantastic Four cartoon was atrocious, related to how cool X-Men, the animated series, was. And then when all the Fantastic Four movies and stuff came out, the only one I've really watched was the most recent one. And obviously Doom wasn't in that. So,
I mean, he was in it for
Robert,
like a split second.
Robert, close your ears. I don't really know much about Doom at all.
Mm-hmm.
I know, obviously, he's been a villain in the Fantastic Four universe for a long time. Has been in the comics for a long time, has come up with, obviously one of the most famous Marvel villains that they've ever come up with. I still don't know really anything about him. I know, obviously, the basics, but like, I don't know. So, but I mean, I guess I could have said the same thing about Thanos too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Doom, we haven't, a lot of people haven't, that are, MCU, that's how they're introduced to Marvel. We haven't seen Doom because Fox had the rights to Fantastic Four, and yeah, I mean, we just hasn't been part of the storyline, but now we're seeing him, and I mean, Doom is one of the most powerful villains. He's got technology, he's got sorcery, money,
a mystery accessory.
Yes. What could it be? What could it be? You can get your commemorative ring, because that's something that we definitely need. Like I don't know about that, but yeah. Like Craig said, Doom's major crossover with the entire Marvel. The Marvel comics, all the universe, was back in the 80s in Secret Wars. He was the major player in that series. And then from there, he just made appearances everywhere. He did before that, but the character really blew up in the 80s, the popularity and everything. And we'll see how this character plays out in the MCU.
A throne that's separate.
Yep.
I guess this is Downey behind the mask here. I don't know. I guess I can kind of see it.
Supposedly it is. All right, here we go. Here's some
Doom was a student like Reed Richards. He lost his mother. He wants to find her, so he dabbles in the black arts. His face is disfigured. He puts armor on his body to hide the disfiguration. Caught you up. Yep.
Thanks.
I didn't know about the mother, but I think I pretty much knew most of the other there. So I guess, obviously the Russo brothers are very good.
Mm-hmm.
All of their entries into the MCU, very good. Winter Soldier, probably my favorite MCU movie. That's not like one of the main Avengers ones.
Same.
Civil War, good, but not as good as Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is just so good. We've talked about it many times here before. It feels like a spy movie. I don't know.
Man, it's one movie that it always calls me to like put it on. Nice, Robert. I'm sure that will happen. I need video proof of this happening. But yeah, I think hopefully there's a lot of pieces and parts to put together for this movie and Secret Wars. I'm hoping that things get put together in a way that makes sense and is entertaining and pushes the story forward. We get some.
I think the biggest thing is like, and not that you could relate to Thanos, but you have to understand like their motivation. They can't just be bad for the sake of being bad. So we'll probably find that out about this version of Doom. I mean, Chris, the figure, again, I'm getting sick of all these Sentinel hands and the deluxe.
That's why, like, I'm thinking this is all one scene. This is all one part of the movie. It's kind of contained. I mean, we could speculate, but
yeah. So if the Doctor Doom is your jam, pre-order this thing.
Yeah.
Just to have on your MCU shelf. I think the thing is, whatever has come before this, 2008, we got Iron Man 1.
Mm-hmm.
At potentially the end of 2027, so just shy of 20 years, we're potentially going to see the end of the MCU as we know it. there's just going to be so many different versions of everything. Like you can't.
Dude, there's gonna. Oh my God.
Like you can't have things from like one particular movie, different variants they've had along the way. I think you just, I think you just collect what. It sounds really stupid and like advice we've given so many times of close to now 100 episodes. Seriously, collect what you love.
Mm-hmm.
Collect for you and your nostalgia, what means things to you. And don't just get something because somebody tells you it's like the figure of the year contender, or you absolutely have to have this because if you don't, you're not cool, or all the cool kids are going to have this figure. No,
and I know.
Like you have to, like, I look at my stuff there. You're the one that looks at your collection.
Mm-hmm.
So who cares if you have all the figures from the Doomsday line? Or just like if you think Doctor Doom is like one of the most badass Marvel villains have ever been, get this figure.
I know.
If you remember Secret Wars from the 80s, and you remember Doctor Doom being really cool, get this figure. Yep. But for everybody else, let's pump the brakes a little bit and watch the movie first.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really the way to approach, all these upcoming properties is, it's impossible to be completist. If you're OCD, you're gonna, be losing your mind trying to complete these teams and movies and stuff like that. I think. There's nothing wrong with cherry picking. I mean, I'm trying to, I'm putting together, like, I want the original Avengers, but like, I'm just cherry picking the best ones that I like. I'm not picking all the ones from Avengers. Like I'm picking out just the characters that I want. I don't want to, get something and then feel like I need to pair it with somebody else or, because that's when you start going down rabbit holes and that's when you end up having a lot of figures that don't really mean anything to you.
Yeah. I mean, from all accounts, from those at San Diego Comic-Con, like the bases looked even much larger than the photos are even letting on. So don't just by default, just go grab all the deluxe versions of these because you're probably going to end up with a whole bunch of Sentinel hands in the box.
Yeah. I know. And I think there'll be opportunities. I'm sure people will be parting stuff out. There's companies that part stuff out. So come a year and a half from now or whenever, definitely you might be able to pick up some of that stuff, on eBay or whatever.
But just going back to a couple of the other photos. This is from the Hong Kong event. This isn't from San Diego Comic-Con. A look at that beast with the fur and the hand. To me, like it's the head sculpt and the hands that really throw this off. Like you either got to go full fur or not at all.
I know. It is.
Or give him like the X Corp jacket or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Another look. Here's the look at Professor X up close.
Mm-hmm.
The Magneto, again, looking good. The Beast not looking good. Again, looking at all of them together. But where I want to bring this back up, Chris, is to your point. Like maybe this is all one scene. Look at all these darn Sentinel hands here.
I know.
Like, are you going to recreate this in your collection to display this with all these hands, or the Sentinel head bait? I don't think so.
It's a lot of room you're going to need.
The Cyclops figure is so good.
There's something with the color.
It's like the aesthetic, like, and I think that like, there's been so many times like in the past, like like I'm trying to think of like XM Studios and stuff that have done like statues of Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
And like that very iconic pose, or like actually I think it was in like the first teaser trailer where he's like on the ground, like blasting up, both hands up. Thinking back to like a lot of like the Fleer Ultra artwork.
Oh, man.
Dating ourselves with that. I loved collecting those cards. Yeah, like X-Men was like, it was it, especially more so because in like the early 90s, Star Wars wasn't around.
Nope.
So like, yeah, it was it. As much as I love Iron Man and Captain America and some of those other Avengers, like the X-Men were my team first. Like, I'm hoping, Chris, the next time we reconvene here, we've got TC with us. I'm not like, oh, by the way, guys, I just ordered all the X-Men figures. Yep. And Bats has got it right.
Yeah.
Look at that timing. But not just Cyclops. It would be all of the things.
Can I get a package deal, a bundle deal?
Yeah. So, Ray, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
You got any of those Wolverine figures, like that the Dave Chappelle skit of like, hey, you got any of those Wolverine figures hanging around anywhere? Got them like propped up in some shelf behind this, like propping up some shelf collecting dust. I almost ordered that figure so many times, Chris.
Yeah, I'm on the wait list for it, and also the brown suit, or brown and yellow suit one, just in case. But yeah, I mean, I love the X-Men. I just set up. I have like this comic book holder thing that I built. I just set it back up and put all my comics on it, my X-Men stuff from the 70s and 80s and 90s. And yeah, I just looking at them, I'm like, oh man, I just love the X-Men. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited to see this movie, obviously. But I'm interested to see where things go X-Men wise with the MCU. See if they, for once,
it's been
keep it on track.
It's been so mismanaged. I mean, we've gotten, 2 looks at the Dark Phoenix saga.
I never watched that second one. So the second Dark Phoenix movie.
It might actually be one of the worst movies of all time. I think the Rotten Tomatoes score on that, Chris, is like under 10%.
Holy crap.
I have watched it once.
Okay.
I'll refuse to show it to my son.
Yeah. It was like
the last one they snuck in right before the deal with Fox and Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never watched.
It was so rushed. Like the effects are bad, the story, the script is bad. Like
I heard, like Jennifer Lawrence like wouldn't even like be in Mystique like makeup and stuff or something.
No. And spoiler alert, she doesn't hang around for long.
Nice. Oh darn! I was spoiled for a movie that I never want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. We'll see what happens. Curious to see, who gets cast in some of these roles. But for now, I'm enjoying X-Men 97. I'm up to date on that. And, we got 4.5 months to get ready for this movie. But thankfully, we have Spider-Man to look forward to this weekend. Hopefully.
It's like that James Franco meme. All I have left is Spider-Man.
Yep. I know.
Ruined.
Yeah. The first Harry Osborn. So yeah, I mean, there's some promising stuff coming our way for Marvel. And I think for those that are skeptical and stuff, if you see Spider-Man, hopefully it rejuvenates you and kind of bumps those Marvel feels, back in check. But I'm certainly looking forward to it.
So if you got any leads on Wolverine,
we're going to be fighting it out.
I'll defer to you first.
No,
but,
I'm just kidding.
But if you got any leads on a Wolverine,
yeah,
hit up the scavengers. Help a brother out. Help a scavenger out. Maybe. I'm still not committed to it, but
well, I mean, you could come over in here and
yeah, exactly. I head to the Liddy warehouse. I'll see if Robert's in there with his push broom, and
he's got a sleeping bag and cot over in the corner there, in the dark corner with all the spiders. So.
I was speaking of Robert. I was just texting him. We're heading down to Florida next February. We're going to be doing another Disney cruise. Obviously,
nice.
Robert is my go-to Disney expert, who I also found out is also a huge cruise aficionado now. Right. And I was telling him he's like, hey, when you land and stuff, he goes, let's try to work it out somehow that you can see the collection. So I'm gonna have to make it happen. It's to the point where my wife has already said, hey, if you want to go check out the collection, we'll go to the parks without you. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
let's back that truck up there. What? We'll find a way to make it work.
I know, right? I mean, if Robert ever gets to the toys that I've been bugging him about, I might be willing to make a flight down there just to go through that stuff with him. But I know, right?
Scavenger meetup.
I know.
We can grab a couple of cheap flights from Manch Vegas down to Orlando.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's right. I'm kidding. I give him I give him some grief every couple of months. I'm like, hey, you get to that stuff yet? And he's like, I'll get to it eventually. Anyway, I was going to be scavenging, right?
Indeed. All right. Actually, to be honest, Chris, I thought we were going to probably talk for even longer without TC here. He did just message us. He didn't get back in time and wanted to send his apologies along, but we'll get him in the next time. Next week, I am going to be away, and we'll hopefully following week, so probably 2 weeks from now, hopefully get another one in.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some more releases from Spider-Man. And maybe some other franchises. I mean, we missed the
Padawan Obi-Wan. I was so wrong. I was so sure they were going to do a Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi for San Diego Comic-Con.
Nope. Star Wars.
No Star Wars. Some sad trombone.
Nope. I know. Yeah, we didn't talk about the alien stuff, and
we were supposed to have Shane
Hulk
on
figure, and
I just couldn't make it work. It was on me.
The time difference is tough.
And the time difference from here to Ireland is also tough. And now at this point, it's probably too late to talk about. Although it does look like we might be getting the power loader.
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
We've got the Alien Queen. They're going all out on the aliens now.
I know that. So that Alien Queen is crazy cool. You get the power loader and all that stuff. I mean, it just reminds me of the vintage Kenner aliens figures and all those different play sets and stuff they had back in the 90s. We're just getting in cooler, bigger forms now.
I remember my brother had the HVAC jet or whatever it was, and it had the little container on the back where you could drop it over the alien.
It's pretty cool.
Yep. we had some of those figures.
Yeah.
Kenner was where it was at.
Mm-hmm. But so I mean, we did miss some of those releases. I'll probably be pre-ordering that Hulk, and we'll see. We'll see. I'd love to get the alien stuff, but again, you start going down those rabbit holes, man, with those other franchises.
I mean, next thing you know, you're trying to get Andor with the Blade Runner style coat.
Oh man, someday. Every post, you know, I'm no, I'm just kidding. Shane's trying to get that thing. I mean, at this point, just call up a customizer and have them make it for you. But
surprised nobody's like offered to do it for him for free just to shut him up.
I know. But
yeah, call up the 6-scale clothier here.
Yeah, I don't have 6 scale sewing machine yet, but I've been looking into it.
All right, Chris, been a fun chat. We missed TC. We'll get him in the next one, and appreciate. I think we actually had probably one of the liveliest live chats we've had since being back here. So
yeah,
appreciate all the comments along the way. We had a lot of comments live here. And probably more live viewers than we've had in quite some time. So appreciate all the scavengers hanging out with us tonight. And Chris, bring us home.
Excelsior.